Good day, everybody. We're continuing on the training for the OFI system. Today we're going to explain the user manual, and this user manual is accessible on the website. We talked in the previous session about how to access the website from the two cases, either the intranet website, the internal website that is used inside the hospital, or by visiting this URL. And briefly, we will go through the steps that is required. Now, reporter will report an OFI. The QPS or quality department will receive it and resumed by the coordinator will collect the data. They will do their investigation between involved parties, whomever they are in the hospital. And then the outcome is, of course, a result or a resolution or resolving this OFI and trending. Now, if you visit the website, you will go and see this particular screen, like this one. And you could report an OFI by clicking on this link or a link at the top. Now, the website have very useful information about definition and when to report and what is the significant event and sentinel event. And of course, you need to go through this process of going, to understand when and how to get these form filled. Now, we like to state that this should be confidential information used inside the hospital. Sometimes it's include information about the patient or visitors or employees or devices or equipment or even policies. So this is very important that when you're using, of course, you use your email inside the hospital whenever it's possible. If you want to report anonymously, you could do so by not mentioning your email at the bottom of the report. That's possible, but you will miss out on the feedback at the further end because the system will not know who to report to. So going back to the OFI itself, this is how the typical OFI will look like. And we will start with the date of the OFI of the incident itself, the location of the incident, and the source. You need to see the difference between the two, where does it happen, and what was the incident source itself. So that would be, the source would be either patient, staff, visitor, and others. Now, involved party is a field that will give us more clarity about the source, and it will give us the chance to identify that person, so the quality coordinator will understand and investigate more about the case. The category are set list of category that you need to pick from, and then this is very important to pick. Was this incident cause of an injury? Because that is a small difference between involving a patient and a doctor into this cycle or not. Then we'll go through what type of incident that is, and this is also very important. You need to identify, is it a sentinel event or a variance event. So a variation is simply not upholding the quality standard for policy and procedure, best practices, and other stuff. But sentinel, on the other hand, there is a clear definition also on the website. You could visit it, but roughly it's translated into irreversible action that has been done to a patient, visitor, equipment, or whatever. So we cannot go back or fix that incident, and if we could, it will have high impact, high value to do so. So that's the definition, simple definition, but for a clear definition, you could visit the website and understand it from there. Here you'll have, for the incident description, you will have the chance to write your story, the whole story about the incident, and it's very important to stick to facts and dates and events that happen into this incident, so it will be clear to other bodies that are involved in this incident to report it and give feedback. This incident here, if it is resulted into a medical incident or a case, it needs to also be looked at by the doctor, and this is where you define yes it is or not. And if it is involving a patient, you need to define or put the email from a Mishari email of the doctor that you like to get involved. Now, there is a place for, if you like to involve your head of department or supervisor or whomever, and you put the email in this part so he will get notified and be aware about the incident. That's something that needs, very important for reporting. And then the last part of submission, the incident or file to be recorded in the system. Now, as we said, once you record yourself as a reporter, you will have the chance to get feedback about the incident in later stage. But immediately once you report it, you will get this type of email from the system, and it will be sent directly to the coordinator stating this OFI has been reported and this information has been shared. And it will progress into also the next step. If this incident is involving a patient, then a doctor also will be notified on the same email that you have put in the form. So he will be having a chance immediately to respond, so we don't miss that vital information. It's not like the other day or tomorrow. It's immediate response to the email of the doctor who he could put his feedback on it. That's the way the email that will be received by the doctor, and it will highlight the incident and the detail of the incident and give the ability for him to fill the link. How does that look for the doctor? The doctor will be presented with a form like this. The OFI number is on the top. Please don't change that one, so it will be consistent. Then we will go through the doctor name and then his attention to the treatment or whatever has been done to the patient, and further recommendation, and then submit, and then his job will be finished. We'll also pass on the other users or involved parties. The head of department or supervisor or in charge person will receive, once he's involved from the coordinator by recording his email on the tracking sheet, he will receive or she will receive a message, an email with the same detail about OFI, and then the chance to fill the information. The ticket for sending this information will be similar to the one for the doctor, but it will be titled the head of department, and it will have the unique identifier for the incident or the OFI, and then he needs to state or she needs to state the name and action taken and further recommendation as if it's existing. You could notice that the star here indicates that these are mandatory fields and this one is not mandatory field. Yes, submission will end the process for the head of department. If there is a need to involve additional people to this OFI, they are identified as a commenter, and they will receive similar email and similar URL to feed. But they will give their feedback as a commenter, number 1, 2, and others. So they will also receive a chance to put their feedback by a form, and of course at the beginning the OFI number, that one is the unique identifier, so there will be a linkage from the back end, and then they will put their name and their comment on the incident itself. Submission will end their process. Again, we talked about resolution or resolving the ticket itself or the incident itself or file. and this is the form. This type of email will be sent to all parties. If the reporter have reported his email, and the other parties like doctors, the head of department, and commenters, will all of them receive the similar email like this with the incident detail and then the outcome and feedback from the coordinator or the quality department outcome. And it is a standard way of reporting back the outcome. So you will be aware about all of the the outcome of it, and the OFI or the quality department will have the chance to trend it. There is other ways to track the OFI on the same website, and this is by visiting the website and going to the calendar. The calendar is a tracking mechanism that will show all steps done on each different OFI. So you can see that from the linking of the doctor, to the feedback of the doctor, to the feedback or linking of the head of department, the feedback of the head of department, the link of the commenter, the feedback of the commenter. So every action done on this OFI will be tracked here as a general awareness about the progress done on the OFI. So everybody will be informed. It's a clear process that everybody could see. On the same website, you could see the policy and procedure of the OFI system and the process, and also the definition and the user manual that you could I just explained in this demonstration. If there is some additional feedback or suggestion on the system, it could be also recorded on the website at the bottom part of it, and you could send your feedback on the OFI itself as a system as a whole. So thank you for listening to this training session, and we'll get to the next training session part of this course. Thank you.